Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. We're now playing all the video games released at some point in 1981, and this is where it gets really fun. Usually if you know when a game's released, like Donkey Kong in 1981, you kind of get excited to know where we are and we're going to be getting close to it, but now we're playing any and every game that's released to close out the year. So who knows where we're going to go or what we'll see. Let's see where we left off. It's now on A-maz-ing that we played for the TI-99 home computer, and let's press forward and see what our next release is. It's A-maz-ing again for the VIC-20. So we're going from one computer to another, and this is by Audiogenic. Must be different A-maz-ing games on the VIC-20. Let's see what we got. Looks like no information except a screenshot, so we're going to pop it in and play on our VIC-20. This is A-maz-ing. Released at some point in 1981 by Amidar. Way to go, Hamid. There we go. All right, so we want to play with the, what is that, P or L to use the joystick? We'll use L, I guess. Press any key to start. All right, A-maz-ing. It's loading. It's amazing. And here we go. It is amazing. This isn't Pac-Man. It is a Pac-Man clone. The first one we've seen for the VIC-20. And it is pretty bare bones. Looks very tiny, and man, the sound, we already know the VIC-20 isn't like, it's not up there with Commodore 64, we'll put it that way. But every time I hit a wall, it's giving me beeps. Oh, I guess not. I thought it was doing it against the wall. There it is. It sounds like my heartbeat monitor is going out right now, if I was in the hospital. But besides sound effects, though, it is Pac-Man. It's a small, medium. It's like we're playing a tiny version of Pac-Man on our home computer. So A-maz-ing is Pac-Man for the Commodore VIC-20. I can't really say it's playing smoothly. You can see Pac-Man's creeping along each click, but the play control is kind of a little sloppy, but it's still Pac-Man for the VIC-20. So that's pretty cool. And for that one, considering all the other games we played for the time, it's still Pac-Man, so we'll give it a little bit. It does, yeah. I couldn't tell if it was or not. Majority of the stuff we play in the VIC-20 is going to be in machine language, but I'd say by the way it was running up, it's possible it was basic. But I'm going to go slightly below average. It's still Pac-Man and very enjoyable. The controls are a little loose compared to what we've seen for the home computer space, so I'm going to do 2.5 stars, so still around the average range. A-maz-ing. Let's see what our next game is after A-maz-ing. All right, we're going to the arcade. I am familiar with Amidar. I've heard about it, but never actually played it. So this is Amidar in the arcade. Let's take a look at the artwork for Amidar. Amidar? Either one will work. We got two different advertising flyers. One is, looks like the Japanese one, Karateko. And the other one is Konami, which is the original developer of Amidar. Your fortune depends on Amidar. Move carefully. Oh man, that's terrible font. You can barely read what it says. It's giving us instructions on how to play, but essentially it's a grid capture game, and this would be the first, well, one of the first of its kind. Very excited to check this one out. There's our arcade PCB. For controls, we just move. Oh, we have a jump button. That's nice. And there's our arcade marquee for Amidar. An example of the screenshot, and we have a manual for this one too. Let's take a look at the operator's manual for Amidar in the arcade. This one is the Stern manual, which they were distributors for majority of the North American market. And they have the usual technical information. Here we go. Object of the game is to avoid the Amidar's attackers. Pick up coconuts to capture territory. When the Amidars close in, push the jump button to make the Amidars jump. At this time, you can pass under them to escape. Only 4 jumps per frame. Each coconut's worth 10 points when picked up. The 4 corners are filled with Amidars, change colors, and can be thrown off the trail. The first Amidar, I think I've said Amidar too many times already. When the complete screen is filled, you have the opportunity of collecting 5,000 bonus points. The path shows up to push the jump button to start the pig down the paths. The pig will move randomly towards... Wait, pig? Where'd the pig come from? I'm already confused trying to understand, but I know the concept because I played a grid capture game. Yes, so it's more of a top-down maze-ish game than Kicks. All right, so we don't need to go through installation. That's given us some information, not a whole lot. We got different versions here, too. We have a bootleg version, Olympia version, Scramble Hardware, Stern Electronics, and then another version called Amigo. So if you played the Amigo one, this is Amidar, the first one in Japan by Konami. Here we go. We're in the arcades. It's released at some point in 1981. And here's Amidar by Konami. Oh my gosh, that is a creepy monkey. No, Konami, no. Don't you know you're supposed to go for cutesy, adorable? Who in the world designed this artwork? Let's see if we can see if there's a different one than the creepy one. No, that was it. That's all we got. So we'll keep them up there for a little bit, staring at us. And if you look on the whole far side over there, there's instructions that are around the CRT explaining how to avoid the Amidars, which there they are. Are the Amidars the pigs? Is that what they are? Push the jump button to wake the Amidars up and you can pass under them. When the paths show up, push the jump button to start the pig down the pass and they move randomly toward the bottom to pick the fruit. So there's different screens, but essentially it's the same idea. You're trying to capture a majority of the screen, not necessarily like kicks. This one is like more of on a grid pattern. All right, let's put a coin in and see what it's like. Push starting. Oh, there we go. That's a gem. And you can see I am the gorilla moving around. Now wait, I thought the Amidars were pigs. Who are these guys? So they give us other people that are coming after us. There's the jump. Oh, I guess I can only go underneath them. And that brief jump moment is what I have for my power-up. But with the obsession with getting monkeys in video games, I wouldn't say thanks to Donkey Kong. It's too new. I don't think this was influenced by Donkey Kong. But it's amazing how many monkeys they got, or gorillas they have in video games already. And we're not done yet. Congo Bongo's coming up at some point. Alright, so I have, yeah, that's my power-up. It just makes them jump, and I can run underneath for just that brief second. That's all I have for my getaway. But I'm essentially just moving around, collecting the dots, kind of like Pac-Man, but the other gimmick is I'm capturing areas of the screen, turning them blue. And then whenever you capture enough, then you move on to the next one. I don't even think I think you have to capture all of them. I tried to be risky that time. And already game over, usual 3 lives. Okay, there's the pig. Maybe Amidar's 2 different things. I'm a little confused, Konami. What is an Amidar? I thought this game was going to help me understand. Now you can see it says released 1982. It was more worldwide at that point. We're playing in Japan, which was 1981. And there we go. In the attract mode, they're saying we're the player. Amidar is that thing. There's the tracer. Oh, so they're both Amidar. Okay. Well, that clears everything up. All right, let's put another quarter in and play some more Amidar. I want to get to the next screen and see the pigs too. All right, we're going to use strategy and tactics this time. And collect every single dot. The 2 different game modes, I think they changed the gameplay up just a little bit, but not too much. Let's see if I can sneak around this side. There we go. So it looks like if you get all the dots around the outside, then it finishes the grid for us. I'm not seeing a lot of artificial intelligence from the enemies. Yes! I was able to work the power-up correctly. Alright, now we got the timing down. But still tricky. It's like it's not like the hammer in Donkey Kong, where you feel super powerful and you're destroying everything on the screen. Alright, I think that was it. It doesn't give me an indication how many of the... oh, here we go. We're almost done. Music's changing. Awesome. I gotta give Konami props, though. The music's good. And we've seen lots of really good ones this year. 1981 has been the year of let's put a lot of music in the arcades. Frogger comes to mind. It's awesome. Oh, he got me on that one. Frogger comes to mind. Donkey Kong. And, of course, Rally X. They keep the music going the entire time. No, there. I still give it so far for the best music in indie game fantasy in the arcade. Oh, here we go. So pushing jump button now. Oh, okay. So I'm not controlling this. It's like a bonus round. And now the pig moves its way down. And do I get anything? No, I do not. No. So cool they got another screen for the bonus round, but now we move into this one, and now I'm a totally different thing. Now I'm I guess the painter on the outside. And I'm doing the exact same thing I did before. Wait a second, it's not letting me paint any further. Okay, it's a different screen and a different way to play the game now. So I'm gonna go back down to 100. It looks like I gotta just get 100 first. Yep. And then I can do the next one after that. Okay, so it's changed up a little bit. And this is just see how many points we can get. And I can only do it if I connect one from another one. So I'm just making my way around. No, he got me. So you move from a gorilla to a painter. I wonder what Konami was smoking when they made this one up. But then you could say the same thing for most video games. I mean, we play and enjoy video games of a plumber grabbing mushrooms and getting superpowers. So, you know, what are you going to do? This isn't that big of a stretch when you consider all the other video games. But the artwork has got to change. No one is going to like that gorilla. No wonder Donkey Kong was popular. Amidar looks terrifying. Oh, this is kind of cool. So you connect each one, you're getting points, but you can't go to the, like I can't do the 700 until I connect the other ones. To get up to this point, oh, here we go. Did I get it? Yeah, there we go. I think I've already run out. Yeah, I've already used all of them. I'm on my last life, but we're racking up tons of points and having a lot of fun and figuring out how the game works. It plays well. It's like a top-down maze formula. It is only doing the single screen, and we've already seen plenty of arcade games with multiple screens. Oh, but yeah, that's great. Let's do one more round without the screen around the outside. There we go. This is Amidar Movement. This is my coin in the arcade, and this is me pushing start. So I'm wondering if there's more screens than that. In the instructions, I think they only described that, this screen, the bonus round, and then the Amidar Pig. And that was it. So I really want to see if there is more. Just in case. Yeah, I'm not getting super smart intelligence. Maybe that blue Amidar is or he's the chaser, I think, is what they called him in the attract mode. But the song is a jam. Don't tell me that's going to be on your mind after the show. It's fantastic. Not up there with the likes of Frogger, though. I got to give Frogger props, but I'm more partial to Frogger. Original Frogger song was actually based on a kids show in Japan called Police Dog. So it's not original to Frogger. I wonder if anybody in Japan remembers Police Dog first, or Frogger made it more popular than the kids show. This is a very well done, executed arcade game. Plays well. You can understand how it works. Even though they have the different screens, and it took me a sec. It's still really easy to get down. Here we go. Check that out. Yeah, they're not really using a lot of artificial intelligence. All the enemies are in the bottom right corner. And nobody got me. I'll take it. All right, here we go. Trying for the bonus. Go, pig, go! So, are we playing? Oh. Almost, but they did put that randomness in there. Gotta love those. We're gonna see a lot of games with that. Okay, so here we go. We're at the beginning again. Drawing. Gotta connect my way around. Oh. And there's the game over. But great run of Amidar. Had a lot of fun with it. Didn't see the next screen, but I think that was it. That's all we get from the end after the second screen. So for the time, it is not really up there with the likes of Rally X and Pac-Man. It is iconic, though. It's going to be used a lot for several different formulas. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 stars for Amidar. A very well-done game for the time, especially for the arcade. And it did influence a little bit, but not as much as the other releases we've seen. All right, so great time in the arcade. Let's see where we're going next. After Amidar, it's time to go back home. Playing on Apple II, and this is Apple Panic, the latest release for the Apple II. Let's take a look at the box for Apple Panic. Yes, the Apple version. Oh, by Broderbund. Nice. Already off the bat, I think this is the same as Space Panic, which we saw in the arcades, which is a precursor to Lode Runner. So really cool. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people had Apple Panic. All right, let's see whatever the versions we have. Just some different releases, alternate ones. All right, we're popping in the disc. Playing, released at some point in 1981. This is Apple Panic for the Apple II. Is it exactly like Space Panic, which we saw in the arcades, or not? There we go. So this is the cracked version. So for keys, we do I, J, K, and M. And if you have a keyboard, look down at your keyboard. You notice how squished I, J, K, and M are. It's a little interesting to play that way. Looks like A is dig. S, pound the apples, play when the game's over, and then escape freezes the game, and Control R resets. Okay, here we go. Object of the game, dig holes, pound the apples through the holes. Okay, got it. So get those apples, pound them through the holes. I think it's going to be the same as Space Panic. Let's see. Yep, there we go. So very similar side view. And I just got to trap that. Are those the apples? They don't look like apples to me, but here. Yep, there you go. So you dig the hole, and you're trying to capture them in it, but they have to be able to walk across. And yep, you fall down just like Lode Runner. It's amazing how many games where I think the first idea of a game, I thought Lode Runner was the first idea, but no, we've seen so many games that, like Hyunko Alien was way before that, and then we had Space Panic, and now we have Apple Panic. There's so many games that are before Lode Runner, we haven't even seen it yet. So similar to Space Panic, I bet I'm waiting for them until they get to this spot. Let's see what happens. Okay, is he going to take the bait? No, it doesn't look like it, but I can just keep digging holes to see what they do. They have a cute little tiptoe music. It feels like I'm tiptoeing across the map right now. Yep, so you just wait for them, and you kind of have a strategy of you dig holes and you move where you expect them to go. Come on, take the bait. Oh, now he's just teasing me. Okay, so I'll go down and make one here. See if I can pass double through if he eventually walks over, but you can't bait them to your spot. It looks like they're not going to do that. Yeah, totally random. They're just moving around until you can get a spot to dig the hole and they fall in, and then you beat them down. Just like Space Panic. I think Space Panic ran a little bit faster in the arcades, and it also didn't have a map this big. Look how many levels there are compared to what we had before. Oh, did we get one? Get him, get him. Okay, let's see if I can get by before this guy gets me. Yes! Okay, we got one. Let's see if this guy does it. Go, go, go. Go, go, quick. Got it, nice. It's amazing how close this formula is to Lode Runner, but I gotta pretend it's 1981. It's 1981. I don't even know what Lode Runner is. It's just crazy talk. I don't have time to dig a hole now. Let's see if who's following me. Great. There we go. Dig it, dig it. Oh, he's going for the top one. Darn, I'll see if I can catch him in time. So you drop down, come to the top. So the formula isn't as complicated or as fast as, oh, dig quick, as Lode Runner. And there you go, moving on to the next round. Oh yeah, lots more enemies, increases the difficulty. There you go, so that is Apple Panic. It is, I believe, the first or second release we've seen at home based on Space Panic. There's another one we're going to see, I think, on the Casio PV-1000, but we haven't seen that yet. So this might be the first time you could play Space Panic. Well, they call it Apple Panic, but the first time you could play Space Panic at home. So for the time, that's actually very influential because Broderbund is the one that eventually makes Lode Runner. So we're going to make this one, yeah, Apple Panic's way up there, at least for these reviewers. But for us, we're going to go ahead and give that one a 4.5 star. It's way up there for its influence. And while I can say the gameplay is something we've seen before, this is the first time you could play it at home. So I'm going to go 4.5 stars, not quite up at 5, just because it's a little slower and for control wise, it's not giving you the jump feature. It's more of a strategy, digging the hole. So let's do 4.5 stars, not quite there at 5 stars for Apple Panic. Man, though, it's influential though. That's a big one. Cool. So after Apple Panic, let's see what's happening next. What is our next game? All right, we're going back to MS-DOS or the IBM PC, and this is Arithmetic Games Set 1 and Set 2. There we go. I don't think we'll just boot it up so you can see, but I'm not really going to play a lot of arithmetic games. Let's see what we have for the box. Oh, man, just to show you how boring IBM software looked. If you thought the other ones, TI-99, looked pretty boring, but look at IBM's. This looks like we're actually playing something for school. It's Arithmetic Games. Played now. All right, here we go. Let's see what Arithmetic Games looks like, at least just on boot up. For IBM PC in 1981. There we go, yes. Cool little graphic there. I don't even know the difference between the two games. We'll try Rockets. Yes, and yes. Rockets. Cool graphic, but I don't even know what Rockets is. Name of player 1 is Chrono. Let's make it easy. Computer will be player 2. It's rolling some dice. So how far will you move? And we'll just go ahead and quit there because we're not going to really be playing a lot of educational titles. So for star rating, it's all right. We'll give it a 1.5 star. Sure, 1.5 star for Arithmetic Games 1 and Arithmetic Games 2. Oh, this one has a manual? What in the world? I wonder why I didn't have the manual for the first one. So Arithmetic Games 2, there it is. Personal Computer Education Series by IBM. The Science Research Associates Incorporated. So the Discovery Machine, there's 2 games on this one, just like the other one, Discovery Machine and Number Chase. Discovery Machine takes a number in and does something to the number and gets a new number. Then it sends the number out. You have to discover, it's algebra. So the Discovery Machine is masking algebra. That's all it is. That's true. We don't want to do that either. So Number Chase is making up a secret number. Okay, it's like the guess the number game. All right, so again, let's just boot it up because it does have some cool opening, but as far as any educational titles or math titles, we're really not going to dive in and play very much of them. Anything? Yes. Set 2, Discovery Machine. The user interface is kind of cool, though. I mean, look at that. Way to go, IBM. How many players? We'll do 1 player. My name is Chrono. What level do you want? Let's go hardest. How many turns do you want to discover? I want to make it super hard because we're not even going to finish. So they're putting the number 8 in and 37 comes out. And then you got to figure out how 8 turned into 37. So so you do each one and you can also get hints for it. So really cool math bending games for arithmetic games. But for the purpose of the channel and because educational titles are kind of the ones we breeze over, we'll go ahead and give that one again 1.5 stars. There's a lot of other games that you could play that would be better for the time. All right, so with that, let's move on to our next release. After Arithmetic Games Set 1 and 2, we're back in the arcades. Is that what we just were? No, it was after Apple Panic. Okay, so now we're in the arcades playing Armored Car. Another arcade game. Not familiar with this one, though. Let's take a look at the artwork for Armored Car. There's our advertisement flyer in German, so there's the German advertisement flyer. No information that I could read for instructions on how to play. Is both of them? Yeah, both of them. I wonder if it's only in Germany. And there's our arcade cabinet for Armored Car. The control panel looks like we have a joystick and second gear, 2 buttons. So it's a 2-player. Or 2 different buttons for one and 2 player right up here, and then over on the far side is 2 buttons to play. There we go. Yeah, so we got Sawhorse and second gear is the buttons. And there's our arcade marquee for Armored Car, distributed by Stern. And then just a random picture of an armored car. You know, why not? We do have a manual, too. Hopefully this one's not in German. Armored Car Instruction Manual, so the Stern Electronics game. The object of the game is to pick up as many monies and bring them back to the bank. Monies are placed randomly along the streets. Avoid robbers' cars while trying to pick up monies. Monies? Robbers' cars also pick up monies as they drive along the street. They're also trying to keep you from the bank. The direction of the bank is indicated by arrows on the screen, and your distance from the bank is shown on your indicator at the bottom of the screen. The fuel level is shown on the fuel meter, which is also at the bottom of the screen. Between each bank, there are 2 fuel stations, and driving through them refuels your fuel tank. Now, they usually use fuel as timers in games. Doesn't look like they're going to do that here. Intersections with arrows are one-way intersections. You can only go in the direction the arrow points, up, down, left, or right. The direction of the arrows change every few seconds. Before each change, you'll hear a tone, which will let you know the change in arrow direction is coming. Each player starts with 4 sawhorses. Use the sawhorses to stop the robbers' cars or go through an intersection whose arrow is blocking your path. An extra sawhorse is awarded every 4 monies brought to the bank. Sawhorses only stop robbers' cars and stopping a robber's car awards 200 points. So they don't stop street sweepers, steamrollers, ambulances. Very interesting. There's even more. Using the second gear enables you to speed up and avoid robbers' cars. That's the second gear button, and then the sawhorse button. And you rack up a key and lock. Picking up a key and bringing it to the lock awards 1,000 points. Steamrollers appear in the second rack, changes arrows to sawhorses. Ambulances appear in the third rack. And I've noticed this in the arcade games. They're referring to the scenes. At first they said scenes, or screens that you'd play, but now they're calling them racks or tracks, which I don't know when that happened. Sometime around 1981, we started to see the manuals refer to multiple levels as racks. So we would think of them as levels. You finish one area, then you move to the next one. Because the Pac-Man only had one screen. And now we are going to be seeing Miss Pac-Man next year. And I wonder if they refer to Miss Pac-Man with the different mazes as different racks like these other games. So very cool, interesting idea. And then they go through introduction and installation, which we won't do on the channel. Let's see other versions we have. Just 2 different sets. All right, here we go. We're going to the arcade. It's Armored Car, released at some point in 1981 by Stern Electronics. There we go with all the artwork around the outside. Armored Car. Avoid the robbers and other hazards. Pick up all the dollars you can and get it from the bank. There we go. Dollars sounds better than monies. Over on the far left side, they have the instructions. Really tiny, kind of hard to see. But they're giving us the object of the game. You only cross intersections with the direction of the arrow. And you have to stop at fuel gas stations before... Okay, so they are using fuel as time. Or a time limit. And then we can drop sawhorses and also speed up by pushing second gear. So here we go. They're explaining in the attract mode what it means for the directions we can go. You can drop a sawhorse at an intersection and then use second gear to get away from a robber. And then picking up money gives you 100 points. Every $4 you get to the bank gives you 1 sawhorse. A sawhorse. Is that really going to stop the robbers? I don't know. In this game it does. There we go. You put them down. Nice. All right, let's put a coin in and try out Armored Car. And push and start. Oh, no Diddy, no music? Come on, Stern. Get with the times. All right, so it looks like I have 4-way joystick, freedom of movement. Can move back and forth. Let's try out a sawhorse just for fun. Okay, there's my sawhorse button. And then to get away from the robbers, I'm guessing... Oh, it's telling me the bank is over here to the right. And I have a key. Oh, I need to get fuel. I should have done that. Yep, we're already out of gas. The time limit is... Oh, wow, we move really slow. We can still move when we're out of gas? Okay. All right, we'll just need to fuel up this time. There goes the robbers. Get some of that. All right, there. So the fuel... The sawhorses don't mess with them. And I can use fuel. There's the gas. Nice. Oh, you fill all the way up. Cool, okay. And it shows how many sawhorses I have. It didn't explain what that was I just drove over. I have no idea what that is. Alright, so let's see if we can get the gas again. Got it. And now we got to cash into the bank without getting caught. So right off the bat, I'm obviously seeing the scrolling, which is kind of impressive, but the gameplay itself, the smaller sprites, and the simple grid, I'm talking like, think of Rally X. Rally X had a lot more interesting driving mechanics, and this one's basically the same thing. It's just a grid, reminds me more of Targ than a driving game. Yes, I've joined the Armored Car Drivers Hall of Fame. It's what I've always wanted. And there we go. We got the entertainer in the background. Nice. So they have some music. There's the ditty. Where was that when you started the game? You should have done that first, Stern. Talking to Stern like they can hear me now. All right, so let's put another quarter in and push and start. Yeah, it looks like they started ditty, but then they just cut it off, say, nope, time to go. Get going, get playing. We only have 3 lives. Got to make it count. I'm going to remember about fuel this time. Still going right to get to the bank. Nice. So I got 1 crash in the sawhorse. Good. Going for the gas. Fills you all the way up. That's nice. And coming over to the bank on the right side. We can do it. I think we are collecting the money, but we don't get anything until we actually deliver it to the bank. They just have street sweepers as obstacles, I'm guessing. But I mean, listen to the difference of this game compared to other arcade games we played. Let's go ahead and go in the gas. There we go. Because there's no sound in the background, like we're getting little sound effects here and there. It's just, it doesn't have the same bang as the other arcade games we've seen. This is not the example of like the golden age of arcade games. All right, still trying to get to the bank. Let's do another gas trip. Kind of interesting that it's a side-scrolling game, which we've seen that trend in 1981, and it's not a shooter. It's a top-down maze game that's scrolling horizontally. There's the bank. Go. Get out of the way. Money collected and bonus sawhorses. So you get more to use for next time. Yeah, look down at the bottom. We got a bunch. So now, can we go just right back in the bank? Can I just cash them in right now? No. Oh, okay. So you have to, I guess, travel to the other side. Keep going to the right. Who started the video game trend of let's go left to right? I don't think we've seen a game that goes right to left. There we go. Get off my back. Oh, we can pick... Actually, I'm not going to go... I was about to pick up the sawhorse. Oh, we're out of gas. Hold on. Right before the gas station. No! We have a slight sound effect of the driving in the background, but it's so silent or quiet compared to other games we're used to seeing. Okay, going for the gas. Don't forget it this time. Right now I'm comparing this as I'm playing it to the other games we played on the home computer and the arcade. I mean the console. So for Armored Car, I actually consider this right on par or maybe even a little less than what we'd see on a home computer game. Like, I could see this easily being programmed. All right, let's zoom it in just a little bit. Last round for Armored Car. I want to have the programmer on there. I missed it. It showed a programmer for an arcade game. That's awesome. That's true, too. All right, here we go. Let's go with Armored Car. Last round. Can we get to the bank with the money? The other thing I didn't do is my boost, but it uses so much fuel. Yeah, look at that. That's just to run away from everybody. Yeah, if you get maxed out fuel, you might as well, right? And on the way, I bet there's people that play that were trying to get as much money as possible before they got to the bank. There we go, nice. Oh, no, don't want to do that. Go over the top. See, there's money all over the place, so you can actually spend a lot longer. It's very satisfying crashing another car, though. And here comes the bank. Let's see if we can get through. And got it. So it's almost like they call it the first rack on the operator's manual. But the first rack is pretty simple. Let's get away from those guys. Oh, the steamroller. Gone. So 2 lives left. Last try or attempt at Armored Car. Like the idea, we got 2 different ways for like power-ups to play. Alright, going down. It feels a little different to get used to playing on the square grid. Oh, see, I already ran out of the boost. So after you use it for a certain amount, that's it. You can't do any more. Alright, no need to put the initials in. We know we're the champion of the Armored Car Hall of Fame. Alright, so this one's kind of tricky because it is an arcade game. It is fun, and for the time, it works. So I'm going to say it's at least average. Is it above average, though? Considering all the other games we played, it's a surprise it doesn't have the same oomph. Like, Amidar still had something to it, but this one is a little too simple. So I'm going to go for just straight bare-bones average. We'll do 3 stars. Perfectly average Armored Car in the arcade. It still gets the job done. It just doesn't push it high enough to go into something above average. All right, so after Armored Car, let's see where we're headed next. We're going back home. And this is the Radio Shack TRS-80. So if you haven't seen this one yet...
For those parents who realize that $600 isn't too much to spend to expand their child's world,
$600?
Radio Shack has the perfect gift. The TRS-80 computer, the most significant investment a parent can make. Programs for your child's education or your business, finance, and home use. Let your children discover tomorrow's technology today. The TRS-80, the biggest name in little computers. Only at Radio Shack, a Tandy company.
If that was that kid's mom, she should be shot for dressing him that way, because you bet he got beat up in school with, what was that, a collared shirt that he had on? And I guess he would be the one playing on the Radio Shack TRS-80, but that was me. That's what I'd be doing too. But $600. Whoa. And the one they're talking about is the Model 3, I believe. I can't see as well. This either is the Model 1 or the Model 3 commercial. But for the Radio Shack at the time, it still was considered a very powerful computer. But whoa, $600, and they're kind of milking it like, oh, $600, that's not a lot of money when you consider your children's education, right? Don't you want them to succeed? All right, let's take a look at the box for Armored Patrol. We're getting our education on the TRS-80. Oh my gosh, I hope not. All right, this is by Adventure International. Nice, by Wayne Westmoreland and Terry Gilman. Way to go, Wayne and Terry. Anything on the back? Yes, Adventure International always has something good for us on the back of the box. Use machine language, 1 to 2 players. Average completion time, 5 minutes. When we play the Adventure series by Scott Adams, it says like months for completion time. And then they say, they actually have a brief introduction. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, here at Adventure International introduce a program that's sure to blow your conceptions away pronto. Armored Patrol is a 3D, arcade-style game. Definite heavyweight in the action department. Your mission is to find and destroy enemy craft in your area with your tank's high-energy plasma weapon. Your perspective is from the inside of a powerful T-36 tank looking out across the city landscape. Armored Patrol is packed with lots of extras, including running score tally sound. Whoa, this sounds interesting. A 3D game. All right, let's take a look at the manual for Armored Patrol. There it is. Excellent artwork. Way to go, Adventure International, who published this one. They're calling it a realistic battle simulation that slides you into the driver's seat of a massive T-36 tank. Perspectives from inside the tank looking out across the bleak alien planetscape. It's got to be Battlezone, right? So you're provided with 4 tanks each game, points are accrued, yada, yada, yada. Oh, there's our controls. Interesting. So in the arcade, most tank games, you had like 2 joysticks to control. So it looks like they're having... On either side of the keyboard, you're using the keyboard commands. I don't see anything for joystick. Doesn't look like it. If we need to, we'll refer back to the manual. In the meantime, let's pop it in. This is Armored Patrol, released at some point in 1981 for your TRS-80. Your parents spent good money, $600, for your TRS-80. And what better way to play than Armored Patrol? Yeah, right, here we go. So here we go, loading up Armored Patrol. First time checking this one out. Not sure what's going to happen as usual. If it's a home computer release, it may not load. Sadly, the Acorn Atom is the worst offender so far with bad cassette tapes. Cool. All right, already off the bat, great presentation for the TRS-80. Let's do instructions just to see what's up with that. No, go back. Wait, oh, I clicked too many times. We'll do 1 player. Oh, great, now I don't know the controls. So let's go back and go back in. Oh, those home computers. I've just been typing too fast. Let's go again. Armored. We want to play some Armored Patrol on our TRS-80. This is what you played in secret while your mom was laying out terrible clothes for you to wear at school. There we go. That is awesome. All right, trying it again. Instructions. 1 or 2... Oh, wait, it didn't... it didn't read the side. Let's see if we can figure it out. Okay, so it's using both sides of the keyboard to drive. I'm not hearing any sound effects for the drive, though. Oh, nice. There's my plasma shot. Spacebar is the plasma shot. And yes, it's Battlezone. You're controlling it as if you were playing 2 joysticks. So on the keyboard, it's if you push A and semicolon at the same time, that's moving forward like full speed. 2 joysticks full speed, and it's emulating similar controls than what you would have played in the arcade. And I'm looking on the radar for something. Oh, I can see him. He's on the other side. Let's see if we can get him. Come out. Yeah, he's even, I think I can see him moving through. Yeah, if you look at the house, behind the house, he's moving through the window of the house, which is kind of cool. And there it is. There's the tank. I have him in my sights. I can only fire 1 shot at a time. Cool. This is amazing. A TRS-80 Battlezone game? I didn't even know this existed. this would be the game to play on your TRS-80. Now, of course, the graphics are crude, but it's playing well. The way that it's controls feels like you're playing in the arcade with the 2 joysticks, and we even have this mini radar in the bottom right screen. Can I blow up the buildings? Oh, energy's going down. Uh-oh. So I'm using too much plasma. I don't know how to reload the plasma. I know. Wouldn't you find this on a handheld? Like, this would be something you'd expect to see on a handheld. There he is. Get him. So cool with the explosion too. All right, so it looks like we got someone behind us. Evasive maneuver. Oh, he got me. It has the correct screen, like in Battlezone. All right, so and then right after you die, it boots right back up again. But how smooth this plays! It's a fast first-person game on. It's like I'm playing a first-person shooter on the TRS-80. Which, have they ported Doom to TRS-80 yet? I feel like that should be done. If they can do this, this could easily be turned into Doom, right? I think there's one for the Coco. Yes. Yeah, this is so fun. This is great. You can kind of barely make out the difference, though, between the tank and the buildings. Like, as I'm coming up to it, I can't tell until I get close enough. But it's giving me an indication on the radar. Like, it's telling me they're on the right side now. So I know he's over there. There it is. Is that a player? It was. It looked like a person that I shot down. Oh. Ah. There you go. You can see the plasma shot. The shot seems a little slow compared to the arcade. Like when you fire it off, look, it's like a bullet, and then it slowly moves away. Oh, he already got me. But it's nice with the radar at the bottom, telling me that now he's in front of me. Yep. Oh, go, go. Wow, see, it looked like I dodged the bullet that time. Let's go for another one. Because the shots move so slow. Yes. So cool. There we go. So that's pretty cool. Armored Patrol for the TRS-80. I was surprised. It should have been named something different. I guess they couldn't get the license for Battlezone. So Armored Patrol, that is above average considering everything else we played. A first-person game. And we usually are rating the games like all computer games at the time. And you got to give props to the TRS-80 was 77 when it came out. And they made a first-person shooter game for the TRS-80. That's impressive. So it's still very enjoyable to play, definitely above average. I don't know if I want to push it as far as the best game you could play at the time, because Battlezone was last year in the arcades, and we could only find, I think, 1 or 2 other releases at home of the Battlezone formula. But man, it's good. I don't know if I want to go all the way to 4.5. It's up there though. It's very good for the time. We'll go 4 stars for Armored Patrol. That's pretty impressive. I'm impressed. And it was fun. All right, so after that, let's see what our next release is after Armored Patrol. All right, and there we go. We went from the TRS-80 to the Coco. This is Art Gallery, which is technically an application. It's really not a game. I just wanted to say, there it is. There's Art Gallery on the show. I did debate whenever I did the channel if I wanted to do the evolution of drawing programs, like how we get to My Paint and then Microsoft Paint and so forth. But yeah, since it's just a drawing program, we're just going to breeze right by it. We're not going to be seeing the evolution of drawing programs, because then I started to think to myself, do I want to do typing programs and see the evolution of now? But for anything that's Art Gallery, even when it is on a cartridge, which is kind of cool, but we'll just breeze by it, give it 0 stars because it's not really a game. It is just an art tool, but cool to see. There it is, and there it goes. After Art Gallery, we're going to another home computer. This is the Atari 800, and this is Artillery, which this format, it's got to be the same Artillery format as the game, right? Let's pop it in and play some Artillery, released at some point in 1981 for our Atari 800 computer. Yes, looks like it's basic. There we go. So this is kind of interesting. I thought the Artillery style game, where you aim a shot, you determine how far you want to go and the trajectory and so forth, started with the game Artillery, and it turns out it didn't. It was on mainframe computers before then, and so the whole name is based on something later. So on the channel, we're no stranger to this format of game, but we have never seen on the channel an actual game called Artillery yet. This is the very first time a game is actually called Artillery. So this is the first time we were actually playing an artillery game, and it's called Artillery. All right, so I'm going to use players in the chat for names. So last person was L. Curtis B. will be player on the left, and then player on the right will be Chiptune. And we're going to play some old-fashioned artillery gameplay on the Atari home computer. Your objective is to blow up the other player. Given wind speed, you oh, and it already cut me off before I could even finish. But we're essentially aiming and deciding how powerful we want to shoot. And it's drawing in. That's true. Maybe in 2050, it was my guess. Okay, here we go. So L. Curtis B is up, and then we select the velocity, comma, and then the angle. So I don't know what will happen, but it should be on the left side. So if we do velocity, it'll be 5 with, I'm guessing 45. Let's try that. And then here's the first shot. So velocity's velocity 5, but I did a 45-degree angle, and it did work. 45 was that one. Okay, and now Chiptune's going to fire next from the right side, and then I do the same thing. Let's do more powerful. Let's try a 10, and same thing, let's do 45. Oh, it might be oh, it's too powerful. Yeah, 10's too big, but a good shot, though. So you can see how the game works. It's a strategy game where you're meant to pick the angle, pick the velocity, and then you, through trial and error, you figure out the best way to hit the other opponent. And that's true. There was other versions on the PET that I couldn't get. A lot of the older systems that had artillery were very difficult to play. But not for long. We're going to be playing lots more artillery games, starting with this one. This is just artillery. Oh, that's right. And wind is 19 to the left. That's true. The wind took it over. Okay, so let's do the same. Let's try 10, and let's do 40 for the reshot on the left. Let's see if the wind blows it back. Oh, I didn't do a comma. Hold on. All right, so again, oh, it didn't give me a credit for it? What? Did I not do? Maybe I fired too much? Okay, let's try it again. Let's do 5 and 50 this time. So it's second shot from Chiptune on the right, and it's keeping track of our angle and trajectory to see the difference. Wow. So a wind speed, I guess the power is really important. So let's do 650. And then second shot, you can see, let's see if the wind, yeah, the wind's going to push against it. But you just go turn by turn. This is a really good hot seat game to play in 1981. If you had your friends there, you would try different shots to see who could actually attack the person first. Okay, so now going again on the right with Chiptune, let's do velocity 8. And let's do 45. And see if that's powerful enough. Oh, this might be it. Oh, this is it. Yes. Ouch. That's awesome. All right, so there you go. Artillery, the very first artillery we've ever played. So for the time, it's pretty standard for a strategy game, but it is loads of fun. If you're a fan of Scorched Earth, we're not going to get to that one for a while, but it's this same idea. All right, so I'm going to say it's pretty average considering everything else we play for the time, but artillery games, I love them. They're a lot of fun. So we'll do 3 stars for artillery, just straight artillery. And after that, let's move on to our next game. Oh, there we go. It's Artillery Simulator. I'm guessing another version of it or another type of it. Let's see what other versions. Yeah, okay, this is the Soft Side one. Soft Side was a magazine that publicized people to play or writing their own programs. So here we go. This is Artillery Simulator, released at some point in 1981 for the Atari home computer. Is it as good as Artillery? Let's see. Your mission is to blow up the other guy before he does the same to you. Enter the data as angle of fire with number of bags of gunpowder. Okay, so a little different than the one before, but essentially the same idea. And we didn't get to pick names, so we just do person on the left first, then person on the right. But if we do 45, and then what about 5 bags of gunpowder? Go. And it looks like wind's blowing hard. Oh, yeah. No way, it's blowing apart the mountain. That just makes me think of Scorched Earth. Or Worms, or whatever your flavor of artillery game. That's pretty cool. All right, let's try, if the wind's going to the right, let's try again 45 with, let's do 3 bags of gunpowder. Does that work? Oh man, it's slow though. At least compared to the other one. And it's not giving us the cool trails of the trajectory. Oh yeah, it dropped fast. No way! It's breaking apart the ground too? So cool. Okay, and it saves it for us, so we just have to type over it. That's nice. All right, so let's do 45 again, but let's do 8 bags of gunpowder. Fire. Oh, way over. So you would have to, I guess, angle higher up since he has the wind. So this is an artillery-style game. Lots of fun in 81 to do these with friends. All right, so with another side, I'm going to go with, let's do 50. And let's do 5 bags of gunpowder. Let's see if the wind blows it to a stop. But man, a lot slower than the other game. This definitely feels like a game you would have typed in. Oh, wind is totally stopping it. And you just continue back and forth till someone makes the shot. Okay, so it's not as good as the other artillery game, so I'm going to give it lower. It's that doesn't play as well. So I'll do 2.5 stars for Artillery Simulator for the Atari home computer. All right, and let's move on to our next game. We're going all over the place here. We're back on the Apple II, and this is the Asteroid Field. Let's take a look at the box for the Asteroid Field. Nice. A product of Cavalier Computers by James. I can't see the last name here, but way to go, James, if you are the true developer of it. 3 sizes of asteroids, 2 sizes of aliens, hyperspace, full sound effects. Oh, it's got to be an Asteroids clone for the Apple computer. Let's see if it is. I just saw the chat, yeah. It's because of how slow it was going, we'll move on to the next title. All right, so no manual for this one. Here we go. We're going to pop in and play. The Asteroid Field, released at some point. Oh, didn't load that way. Let's try a different way. Going this way. All right, this is the Asteroid Field, released at some point in 1981 for the Apple II. Is it really a space shooter? Yeah, let's see if it's asteroids. We got demo mode, keyboard input. Let's take a look at demo and see what it's like. Oh, it is. Yeah, it's asteroids for the Apple II. Really cool how they made it look like wire graphics. That's nice. But I think demo is, I think this is it, right? Is it just doing... Yeah, it looks like it's just doing the asteroids flying. So if you wanted a screensaver on your computer, you could put that up. All right, let's try it with keyboard input, giving it a shot first. What are the keyboard controls? Here we go. We got, okay, moving left and right. And then I got thrusting and shooting. Nice. This feels slower, like it might be basic, but the presentation's good. Looks really nice for an Apple II game. I mean, look at, there's no sound. We're not getting any sound from it. But at the time, it might just be the emulation, and there might be some sound, but we usually don't hear that much from Apple anyway on the Apple games. But what I don't know is, how do I do hyperspace or shields? I'm going to need those. It's possible this was programmed in 1980 and then released at some point in 81, maybe early 81. But from the way that this plays, it's kind of cool that it looks this good for an Apple II game, making it look more like a wireframe game. And the thing you got to consider is we played this on the Atari home computer and the Atari 2600, and look at the difference graphically. For controls, though, I can't really give the controls. I can't say are better because, well, of course, I picked keyboard instead of paddle controls, but it does play better than I'd say the TRS-80 Coco version that we played. But it's having so many on screen at one time. Now the oh wait, go. Oh, but see, the Coco did have other features, like you could do the shield and stuff like that, but it was more of a mix of Asteroids Deluxe. This looks like just bare bones Asteroid, the first one. Oh, it got me. And it is bizarre hearing it without any sound. But I mean, look how many asteroids are on screen at once. And it's running. It looks like it's slowly chugging. I can't even come back. There's so many asteroids. I'm hitting the button to respond, but it won't let me come in because it knows I'm going to die. It's still waiting. I can't come back in. Any day now. Any day. Yeah, there's so much flying across the screen that I can't come back into play. Whenever you played on the arcade, it wouldn't let you returned automatically, but it returned you whenever you were safe. And now, nope, I am not safe. Can't come back. It's still not letting me come back to play. So you went all in with the asteroids, but you didn't think of not letting, you didn't think of it not being safe for someone to be able to pop in. Come on, go, go, go. Finally, gosh, it took forever. All right, let's see what we can do for top speed on this. All right, so I got to give him props. It's a very well done port for the home, and that's Asteroid Field. So for the time, considering everything else we've seen on the home computer, it's slightly above average. I'm trying to think of the other ones we've reviewed so far. Let me think of it. The other Asteroid games we played for the console, because we gave 5 stars for Asteroids on the Atari 800 because of so many features. It played really well. You could play 4 people at once, and you could do game modes like competitive and cooperative, shooting the asteroids together. This one didn't have any of those game modes, but it was up there of the ability to play asteroids from your computer. So we'll go 4 stars for the Asteroid Field. Lots of surprises we've seen so far in 1981, and we're still only in the A's. So just to give you a heads up, we're playing all the releases released at some point in 1981 in alphabetical order, and we're still on the A's. So it's going to be a long trek through all the other releases in 1981, but we never know what's going to be next, and it's going to be lots of fun. So that's where we're going to stop for this evening, putting pause on our quest, playing all the games with Asteroid Field, and then we'll see where we're going next, where in the world we're going next, and what we're going to play next. Thanks so much for joining me. We'll catch you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we miss any games along the way. This video would not be possible without RetroArch and Launchbox. Please tell your friends there's some crazy guy out there trying to play every single video game. You can always check out Chronologically Gaming on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We will catch you next time.